Hello, welcome to Wendy's Colouring, and today is, yay, a look at something a little bit new. So Ohuhu have been working in the background developing Honolulu S, completely different new set of markers, which is, yeah, slightly different development, so I thought I'd show them today. So they very kindly sent me this set, lovely 60 set with a whole load of lovely colours, and I'm sure you're thinking they look exactly the same, Wendy, and in many respects they are exactly the same, but they are slightly different. As you can see, this one does say Honolulu S on it, and this is a new brush end. Well, not brush, because it's a chisel, and when they first did message me about this I was like, oh, a chisel? I don't really use my chisels, but the curiosity got the better of me, and I said, yeah, go on then, let's have a look, see what it's about. And yeah, I'm really quite pleased I did, really, because it is quite a new innovative idea. So a normal one, this is my original Honolulu's that I've had quite a few years now. Obviously the broad tip looks like that. I'm sure we're all very used to seeing it. It's quite a big chisel on the normal one, and obviously that is normally the plain side of the marker. It doesn't have the grey stripe on it, but the new ones, as you can probably see, are brush and soft chisel, and this time the grey circle is on this side because this is a new specialist nib that they have developed. So let's get them both out so you can see them both together, if I can coordinate my hands and turn them so that they're right. So this is a significantly smaller chisel for a starting point, but it's not just really about the size, it's the innovation that they've started to develop. And I've just popped these off and I didn't look which was which. I think that's that one and that's that one. So put the old one away, then we don't have that problem. So in fact, no, I won't, because I'll make a bit of a mark with it. So your old one, obviously, it's great for kind of filling in a large background, but if I'm really honest, blending with it was never my favourite, because it's very difficult to get rid of completely those kind of hard lines that you start to build up. Whereas this one is obviously it's a much smaller nib for a start, so it's a little bit easier to get in some of the spaces that you might be working in. But it's also a much softer nib, so it has a little bit of bend to it. So if you want to make a much more of a curved, tight mark, you can, because that nib has some flexibility in it, whereas previously our old hard one is literally like a rock, isn't it? You're good for zigzags, but curves, not so much really. It's not so easy, and it's certainly not as easy because it's slightly bigger. Because this is smaller, obviously it's much easier to do a curve, softer spaces. You can still use it on the point, so you could still do very small line work like you can with a traditional chisel, but it gives you a lot more flexibility. Again, you can still do block building if you wanted to, but then you can also work over much more easily. Yeah, it's quite an interesting pen. It's like I say, I'm not a great chisel user normally, but this is quite a nice kind of in-between. It's a chisel, but it has a lot of brush qualities about it. It's quite interesting. So if you maybe, like, I never use the chisels on my normal one. It's very rare that I use a chisel. Even if I'm doing a background, I do tend to use a brush more. But this, yeah, I'm thinking this might tempt me a little bit more, because it's just, it feels so much nicer when you're putting it to the paper, because it has that softness that a brush has. If you feel like you're in control a little bit more, rather than you kind of painting with a brick, if you know what I mean, beforehand. The chisel is so hard to do any kind of gentle soft marks with, like those kind of marks. You couldn't do that with a chisel before. It just wasn't possible to go, you know, and have small controlled marks. So I'm thinking these will actually be really useful for us in the colouring genre particularly. Obviously you can blend them the same as you could before. Let's move my old one out before I put it in the set and then I get confused. So let's have a look at the bits and pieces. We'll put it back in for now. So little booklet, get your usual little, are they silicone these? That obviously you can put behind your pages if you want to. I personally prefer paper behind, but it's personal choice, isn't it? It's got a new booklet with it. It shows you all the usual things. So refills, I'm hoping they're going to do some more refills. But also, new. Again, this is reflecting really quite badly, but I have printed it off. They have decided to change some of the colour codes to try and make it a bit simple when you're simpler for when you're trying to pick colours that you know are going to blend together and are in a similar kind of saturation point. So there's my little print off, because I think it does show it a little bit easier. They did send me this as a PDF, and I thought actually that looks a bit easier to read than this version in the booklet. So basically they're changing the codes. I'm going to zoom you in just so it's a little bit easier for you to read it, because my printer did print it a little bit smaller than I planned. Remind me to zoom out in a minute. So yeah, you might notice, and I think they're going to change them on all the Honolulus and all the other Ohuhu markers. So I think these code changes are coming to every line that they do, not just this new soft chisel set that I have out today. But yeah, basically the colour codes are going to change, and currently in this little booklet, let me find the page, you will now see that this is, let's get the Honolulus just because those are the ones we've been talking about, that they're now showing in the booklet. If I can get into it, you've got the old code and the new code. So I think the old code's the small one underneath, and the new code is the one in bold now in the booklet. And they have got quite a few download things on their website to show you these changes, and I think you can also print out some little circles with the new code. So if you have old stock of any Ohuhu brand, you can print out a set of stickers that go on the end of your caps, on the very end here of your caps, to change them to the new code if it helps you actually get your head around how the codes are changing. But back to the actual sheet. So you'll have a new code and an old code, and the colour saturation is designed to kind of help you pick it. So now you've got colour family, which obviously we always had before, yellow, gold, yellow, green, if I can speak. Then you've got colour saturation. So the first digit shows the colour saturation, dividing each colour family into 10 levels, so 0 to 9. With 1 being the weakest and 9 being the strongest. Colours are the same level, can blend together fairly well, and then the brightness, so how strong that colour is. So you've got kind of how strong the colour is and how bright that colour is, all within the colour code, which hopefully it'll feel like quite a big change if you're very used to using your Ohuhu markers labelled as they have been before. If you only use your Ohuhu markers and you're really familiar with it, this will feel quite alien for a little bit of a time. But once you get used to it, it really will help you make better colour choices and make quicker colour choices, because you'll have a better understanding of how one marker will work with the other. But there's lots of different changes coming, I think, in that respect. Like I say, in the booklet it's now showing you both on the standard colour charts in the booklet. Let's go out a little bit just so we can see the whole page. Now I've moved that out of the way. But yeah, as you can see, this has got the whole colour chart with both names on. Some don't seem to be changing so much, some are changing a lot, but I think that's the current 320, the big set, yeah, 320, plus the extra little sets that are in here are all labelled up in this new booklet that comes with the soft chisel. So this is the S series, that's what they're calling the soft chisel, and they've sent me what is currently, bit of reflection, let's get rid of that, they've sent me what's currently the largest of these sets. So this is a 60 set that we're about to have a look at, which has all the new colour codes. So I've yet to work out whether these I've got the same colours in my old ones or not. So I kind of feel like I need to do a whole new swatch chart to compare the colour codes to figure out which I've got. But obviously I have the Plus S series, the Supreme brush, And then these ones are the soft chisel, which again, great little set. It's a lot, isn't it? It's a lot. But yeah, colour codes. So this particular 60 set, if you were going to go, okay, I really like the idea of some of those new soft chisels. I quite like using my normal chisels, but a bit of more flexibility would be great. This is the new little swatch chart. And actually, when I first started doing this little swatch chart, I was a bit confused with it because I was like, oh, it doesn't seem to be making any logical sense as we're going down. And then I realised, no, that's because it's going across. And actually, I really like this little swatch chart. I think the layout is really good. Colour changes between them really make sense. Quite often they're a bit all over the shop, aren't they? In past packs, some of the swatch sheets. But this one actually makes visual sense to me in terms of colour. So I'm really glad they're kind of thinking more carefully about the colour organisation and about how we as artists actually pick colours and what we want to see to make that process much more simple. So yeah, I'm really impressed with how this is working in terms of labelling. It's going to take us a bit of time to get used to it, I think, but overall I think it's a really good improvement, and it'll make picking colours, once we all get used to it, so much easier to kind of get your head round. Okay, so like here we've got a perfect example of it, haven't we? So we've got RV212 and then next to it we've got RV311. So we can see straight away that we've got colours that are in the same family that are reasonably similar in terms of saturation in the colour, that those two will work really nicely together. As it happens, they've put them next to each other on this little swatch. So it makes it easier anyway. But I thought we'd actually have a go at using some of these, because obviously I've been talking quite a bit. So I did fish out my little, let's zoom you out a little bit because we're a bit close in, aren't we? Whoop, knocking them over. That's not really the wisest move. So I haven't worked in this yet. Lulu's House of Wonder, her newest one that's out, though knowing her, she'll have another one out in a couple of weeks, won't she, of a million somethings. But I've not worked in this one yet, and I thought I'd like to have a bit of a play with this, just to kind of see how I go with the with this lovely soft chisel we've got going on. So yeah, I've just not thought about a colour scheme for it, so let's have a look at these beauties that we've got out. I think I do want it quite bright, and the advantage of this set is we do have quite a lot of really quite bright tones. What about these nice pinks in the background? I'm thinking maybe I might pick these two though, so I've got a bit of a lighter one. So these aren't quite the same because these are an RV and these are an R, but I'm still thinking I'm going to go with it. So R38, which is that one that's fortunately in my hand, and then 212, which is that one. Let's have a look. So I'm thinking I might do these stripes in them. I know they should be green with that kind of pattern, but I'm not going green. I think I'm going to go, yeah, I'm going to go with those. Let's see how it goes. I'm just going to work over the black. I'm not going to worry about it, but I think I'm going to go, ooh, yeah, it's nice. See, I would not have dared to have done this before with a chisel. I've got to be totally honest. But I am going to dare to do it with these ones. Because I kind of feel like these are much easier to control than the traditional old chisel. Let's get a bit of an overlap area there. I have to come back into it, I think. Yeah. These are lovely colours. Now, can I control it at the top? That is the question. That's how I go. Yes, I can, because I can actually feel where the nib is. yeah, I'm quite happy with that. So, do I want these the same? I think I probably should, as it's wallpaper, shouldn't I? But yeah, would I have dared to have done this with my old chisels? Absolutely not. I probably should get a similar colour and try and do it with the old one, shouldn't I? But I'm too chicken because it's my little mayo book. Yeah, they are very nice to control. And they kind of feel a little bit on the rubbery side, so I'm thinking hopefully these are not a marker that's going to fray. They feel like quite a, although they're soft, they don't feel like they're going to fray. So I wonder if they're made of something similar to the Supreme brush that we were looking at a couple of months ago. Yeah, they're very comfortable to use. They don't have that kind of hardness. Well, obviously, as they're called soft Wendy, but yeah, they're much more pleasant to use on the paper. They don't have that kind of scratchiness about them that the traditional chisel does. We'll go all the way up to this level, and there's absolutely no way I would have gone in these little spaces with my old chisel. Excuse my dog while she just kicks herself. If you can hear her kicking herself on the mat. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. Okay, so I'll probably carry on with a little bit of that after I've finished videoing with you, because they're going to be the same, those bits, aren't they? But I do quite like how those are drying. I thought we'd have a go at a little bit of the character. Have we got anything skin tony in here? Let's have a proper look. So I'm thinking I might use that one. YR47. Let's use that one. Maybe something a little bit darker for the shadows. E49. Can I find it? E81. This is the only problem when you have a new set of markers, isn't it? You don't recognise them quite so quickly as you do when you've been using them a while. E49 is hiding from me. Oh, it's right there, right in front of me. Don't. Okay, so I think we'll have a go at this little girl. And we'll put the dark one on. And I would always do skin tone normally with a brush, but I'm going to give it a go with these and see how I feel about it. I must admit, it's really nice to be able to use your markers in a Lulu Mayo book as well, isn't it? She's got a bit of under chin, neck there, and her hands. And then the same with this one. What was this one? This one was YR47. Might just put a little bit of shadow around her little nose. Let's see how that goes before I go over with this. Should have left a highlight there, but being lazy, and I haven't. Kind of want a little bit of pinky cheeks. 28 would be great, I think. Might have got this too dark for it to show. Oh no, it does. No, there's absolutely no way I would have done that with a chisel before. Which is the lighter one, that one. Just to soften that in a little bit. She's quite cute. I think we're going to stay with the pinks for a little bow. Let's have these two back out that I'm using on the wallpaper so that she matches in with my background. But yeah, these have been award-winning, so there is nothing else like this on the market. These nibs, I think they've won quite a few different awards with them. They are quite a big innovation in the marker area, which is nice to see. A business that's, let's be honest, has been doing really well anyway. Still trying out new things and giving us a new offering. I think the thing I am noticing now that I'm using them a little bit as well, I know quite a few people with the Supreme brush weren't happy because they felt like the ink flow wasn't as strong as the traditional brush, but these do seem to have a really quite juicy feel to them as you're working with them. Yeah, I feel like it's putting quite a lot of ink down, but it's still very controllable, still very blendable. And these are quite strong pigments that I've just been using on those. Yeah, then what colour shall I do her cat? Shall we have a naughty ginger cat? I think we might do. So, I think I might go grapefruit and papaya. Papaya's there. And grapefruit is also there. Let's give that a go. So I'll put the darker bits on first, and then I might come back in with a pencil just to blacken the actual black bits in the little cat's pattern. she's got like a little top underneath her top, hasn't she? What colour? Maybe I'll use that pink from her skin, because that's just a lighter pink. Yeah, we'll do that. And I might pop her a little bit of something glittery in those little bits of trim later on. Might use the darker one of those just for a little bit of shadow. And what colour hair shall we have? I kind of want to do pink at this point, as I seem to be going pink mad. But we won't. I might do these instead. Yeah, I'm going to go yellowish, I think. I might get that nice dark marigold out though, because that is nice for a little bit. Corn yellow. Oop. They're all falling on me. Don't do that. And lemon chiffon. So I've got a trio of yellows, which was right the first time. So I've got kind of much more golden, more of banana, and much more of a cream kind of tone. That are dark marigold, corn yellow, and lemon chiffon. Y213, 228 and 02. I've no idea whether they've been changed without getting a full big swatch of it. So yeah, hair. Now again, hair I would normally always do with a brush, but I'm actually thinking these might be better for hair because you can have quite thin controlled marks with these chisels. And then finally my highlight. I'm going to leave a little bit of white through. Tempted to do the little bits of trim with a little bit of yellow. Now I see it on there, I quite like it with the pink. Yeah, I quite like that. I'm thinking I'm going to do the little border with it. So I think what I'm going to do is it all in the, what is this one colour called? Lemon chiffon. Then with the, should we do the gold? I'm going to do the gold. Just going to add a little bit of shadow. But yeah, I really do feel like you've got really quite nice control with this chisel. Not normally a chisel lover, but this set are lovely. These chisels are really nice to work with. I think I will do that out a bit, this colour, because I quite like it. I might do the slightly lighter one for the little thing on top. We just need a little background for her. I'm kind of going to go something different, I think. thinking maybe the purples or blues. I'm kind of thinking the blues. But which ones? I think I'm going to pick these two out. 008. And what is that? 111. Where's that one hiding? 111, where are you? Where have you gone? There. So I'm thinking slightly darker. Darker behind her? Or darker behind the frame? I think I want it darker on the edge of the frame. So I'll go that way. Use their bow as a natural stopping point. And then see how close these are. Now I've not actually used these markers other than doing that swatch chart, so I am purely going off my little chart to pick these colours. I've not test blended them, but so far it's been a win. I'm going to do the same on this side, I think. Be a little bit careful down there, that's a bit tight. Do the top bit as well now. But yeah, if I can nicely can go around. I just would not have trusted myself to do that before with a chisel. Yeah. So yeah, these are the newest things by Ohuhu. These are Honolulu S's. They've got the lovely new soft chisel. It's significantly smaller in size than your normal one, but most importantly, it's just so beautifully soft. It's controllable, it's flexible on the paper, so kind of your natural curved movements work so much more nicely with it. There is absolutely no way I would have attempted to have done a little image like that with a massive great big normal chisel. I think these are a really nice improvement to the Ohuhu line. And obviously on the other side you have still got the normal Honolulu brush. It's not the Supreme one, it is the normal Honolulu that you're all used to. So yeah, these are just really useful markers. I love a brush, these have a brush, but I'm really loving this soft chisel. In some respects I'm finding it a little bit more controllable than the brush because there's no kind of fraying or breaking with it. That chisel's going to stay exactly as it is. It's soft, it's flexible, it's a little bit smaller, and it allows you to go around but still blend, as you can just see, even in a tight space really beautifully. In a big space you can still do quite big bold sections if you want to. They're working really nicely. So yeah, this is Ohuhu's brand new innovation, award-winning, nothing like it else on the market. This that I've showed you is obviously the 60. There is slightly smaller ones. Let me did print it off, didn't I? So if you want to try it and you don't want to do hundreds of them, there's a little 24, there's a 48, and that's the little one that I've just had. Prices subject to change, ignore the prices that are on there, but those are the sizes that this set is currently coming in at the moment. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed having a look at their new bits and pieces. I will add some links below so you can see them, what they're coming up price wise for you. If I've got any codes, I'll pop that in as well. I've not had that conversation with Ohuhu. It's probably just going to be links that are down there. But yeah, I've really enjoyed using these. I think this 60 set is a really lovely selection of colours. If you're only just starting out with colouring or using alcohol markers, I think this is a great little starter set as well. You've got skin tones in there, you've got greens in there, you've got a good range of purples, pinks, you've got quite a bit of kind of muted natural tones, you've got some greys. I think it's quite a really nice balanced set that, as you can see, I've just picked random things up. I haven't really planned what I was doing with this pages, but I found some nice blends just straight away from this little set. I think it's been really nicely curated, this colour selection that they've made for this Honolulu S. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you'll see it more finished in my finished pages in a week or so. Fingers crossed that I get it done. I'm quite liking it though. I'm thinking I'm going to carry on, just not on camera today. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. By all means, pop any questions in the comments. I'm not promising I'll know the answer, but I can always ask for you. Thanks a lot. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.